So in the state of Nevada, domestic violence issues unfortunately exist in every community. And so I know as a chair of the Domestic Violence Prevention Council, and working on that since 2007, since I became Attorney General, we've been trying to address how we bring resources to the victims, how do we reduce the violence, reduce the domestic violence that is occurring in these families. Unfortunately for Nevada, we have been the leader, #1 in the nation for the number of women who are murdered per capita by men with handguns. So we started looking into these fatality review teams to really see what they're about and how could they be incorporated here and brought here to Nevada. We passed legislation in 2011 to create the statewide fatality review team here for the state of Nevada. This fatality review team that is statewide really focuses on the rural communities. Washoe has their own fatality review team, Washoe County, and it's been up and running now for a number of years. Clark County is just now putting together their team for the first time, and they've already created not only their team, but they've already reviewed 3 cases from Clark County. So we have folks that are on those committees that sit on our statewide team, and then the recommendations they get would be incorporated into our report along with the recommendations that we have from the rural communities. So that's what you see here. This is the first report that has come out, the first time really to address the gaps in services and the systemic problems dealing with how we provide services to victims to prevent them from becoming, unfortunately, fatalities as related to domestic violence. Any type of service related to domestic violence until the time of her unfortunate death. And then we look at who she came in contact with and what may have been missed during this phrase, and who cooperated with one another and who didn't cooperate with one another, and how we missed information because maybe our IT systems aren't connected, and a justice court system may have something in the IT system where she came into contact, but now she's in another jurisdiction, in another courtroom, maybe in a different city, and they don't connect and talk to one another. So what we do is we see the gaps in those services, the gaps in the holistic approach of helping this woman because maybe of the various types of silos that have been created. It depends on the case, because we want to make sure we cover all of those types of scenarios that come into contact with our systems to make sure that our system is improved to help those individual situations. The most difficult part is getting the information. A lot of the information, we have to reach out to those governmental entities most often, or sometimes the nonprofits that the victim may come in contact with. Wherever the victim came in contact with an agency or an advocate or system, we want to try to get the documents so that we can recreate their life in that timeline to see what was going on. And that's probably the most difficult sometimes, to get that documentation. Part of it's confidential. Yeah. In fact, I have a bill moving through the legislature right now to give us access to law enforcement data that we need to make determinations on whether it's the victim or the perpetrator's prior contacts with the law enforcement system.